Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about eye contact. I'm going to be walking you guys through number one, why you're having trouble making eye contact, two, what to do about it so that you can create eye contact with people, and three, why does this even matter? So first, why are you having trouble making eye contact? Long story short, I honestly believe it's because most people are walking around with a bunch of shame on their shoulders. We are ashamed of who we are, we don't like what we're doing, we don't like the people we are, and therefore we don't want to interact with each other. Therefore, we don't want to stand out, we don't want to have these interactions because we don't want people to see who we are. Looking into someone's eyes, it's an intimate activity. You feel seen, exposed. Therefore, if you're engaging in activities that you're ashamed of, you don't have this, foundation of self-respect, self-esteem, you aren't going to want to look into other people's eyes because they're in essence seeing those behaviors. They're seeing who you are, right? They're looking into the deepest part of you. And you don't want them peeking into your internal world. We will behave in ways so that people don't have to acknowledge our presence and in essence acknowledge those behaviors. Another symptom that goes hand in hand with lack of eye contact often is, poor posture, slouching your shoulders, not taking up a lot of space. My hypothesis for this is that when we're shrugged over, right? When we're not taking up much space and when we're not making eye contact with people, we feel like we're not seen, and therefore we're protecting ourselves from others seeing our genuine self and those behaviors that we're ashamed of. Number two, how do we end up fixing this problem? As you guys might have guessed, to fix this problem, we have to address the underlying issues. We have to do a root cause analysis, which is addressing these shame-based activities. So I want you to think about this. If deep down you respected who you were, you had robust self-esteem, would you have the same difficulty making eye contact? Odds are probably not, at least not to the same extent. Therefore, I want you guys to pause the video right now and create a list of all the activities that you're doing on a regular basis that are producing some degree of shame. Example of these could be hitting the snooze button, coming late to class, not trying your best at work, watching adult videos, playing video games too much, watching too much social media. The list honestly just goes on and on. There's so many things, and it could even be healthy things, healthy deemed by society, right? We want to make sure we create a robust list of everything that is producing some degree of shame. Odds are, if you're at the beginning of this journey, the list is going to be pretty long. And I don't want you guys to get intimidated by that. So we're not going to tackle these all at once. That's going to be way too intimidating, way too hard of a task to do, right? What we want to do is we want to just select one. Now there's two different ways to go about this. We can go for the easiest one, or we could go for the one that's creating the biggest impact, biggest impact, right? There's arguments for both sides, right? We could go for the easiest one, and that, if we knock down that domino, it can create momentum and it could create the sense that we are capable of accomplishing this, huge marathon, this huge task, which is to complete this list, right? Or we can go the other route, which is to tackle the monster straight up. The biggest one that's taking up most of our self-respect, right? And sure, we can go that just direct route. And for some of you, that might be the best one to do. But for most people, I would recommend doing the smallest and most easy task first. And next thing, once we have this task picked out, I want you guys to just focus on this one task for the next few weeks. We need to get to this point where it's not a habit anymore to engage in this activity. And depending on your level of reliance on this activity, we might have to actually replace this behavior with a healthy alternative. Finally, the third thing, why is this even important, right? It's really important for humans to be able to engage in eye contact because it prevents loneliness by releasing this neurochemical called oxytocin. Oxytocin, it's a neurochemical that's in charge of producing feelings of belonging and bonding. it plays a crucial role in establishing things like trust and love. So, if we go about life not making eye contact with people, our family members, our friends, our romantic partners, we're not going to have a sense of trust in the world. We're not going to be able to have an internal sense of well being. And so, this topic, this ability to create eye contact, it's so important because it really is a paradigm shift for how we show up in the world. All of us want to be in a tribe on some level. And to be in a tribe, you have to be able to create eye contact. Because even if you're internally well, right? If you can't create eye contact with others, they're going to be skeptical of you. They're not going to be able to trust you. And so it's not just how this lack of eye contact impacts you, it's about how it impacts other people in your life. So I hope this video was informative. I hope that you guys understand why it's so important to be able to create eye contact. And I hope that this challenge isn't too overwhelming for you guys that are struggling with this. Know that I'm here, know that I'm supporting you. And as always, stay mercifully relentless. Peace.